Hey there, it's Dean Odell with 7 Gables Real Estate in the Odell Group. It is October 24th and it is time for Tustin Talks. We're going to talk about the Orange County market today. So let's just start by saying there is no real estate bubble. I know all you guys want there to be one out there, at least the buyers, because prices are high and we know that, but you have to look at the data. Trust me, I have been doing this 30 years, and until the data shows something negative on the market, there's nothing negative about the market. So let's talk about the difference of where we are now versus where we are in 2006, 2007, because that's what everybody's thinking. Wow, things were really high in 2006, 2007, they're really high now. Well, let's talk about what the difference of that is. Okay, so now rates are at 3 3/4. Back then, they were at 6.25%. That is about, I don't know, maybe 25 to 30% more purchasing power for the average buyer, okay? And our prices are not that far past the level of 2006, 2007. So let's look at the inventory levels. Back in 2006, 2007, the average house took 15 months to sell. Right now, the average house in Orange County takes 85 days to sell. What is that? Short of 3 months? So it took 5 times longer on average to get a house sold back then. Way lower now than they were then. Everything, when you look at the data, points to the fact that we are still in a very healthy market, despite the fact that some of us buyers out there may not like prices. But, you know, it is what it is. The other thing that's different about this market, there's no bad lending going on out there. People are having to put down payments down like 25, 30%. Some of these people that are getting loans where they don't have to fill out a loan application, where way back in the recession, people didn't even qualify for loans pre-recession. They just made up stuff and put it on an application and they got a loan. It was just terrible lending standards. So all that has changed. Let's just get away from the fact that we're in some giant housing bubble right now, because the data does not point to it. So let's look at the data. Well, let's look at the active listing inventory. And if you remember last year at this time, interest rates were really climbing. They were almost at 5%. And now they're more like 3 3/4. And you can see what effect that had when they tried to raise interest rates up in 2018, this time of year. There were almost 7,300 homes on the market, where now there are only about 6,400 homes. So we have had a decrease in inventory of 14% from last year. Looking at the demand, you can see that this year, the orange line, we are at 2,251 homes in escrow versus 1,974 last year. So our demand, or our pending sales, has gone up 12%. So we have 14% less listings than we did last year, and we have demand up 12%. Those two dynamics alone, that really changes the market. That's a whole different market shift. Then, as always, we have to look at the market and segment it out by price range. Beyond that, we have to look at where you live, what town you live in, and we can get much more specific. But in general, for the Orange County housing market, if you look at the $0 to $750,000 price range, you can see it is colored dark green. Dark green means it is strictly a seller's market. The seller's in control of that price range. Light green, $750,000 to $1 million. You can see the marketing time on that is 70 days, and it's slanted a little bit towards the seller. Things start to even out at that $1 million to $1.25 range, represented by the color white. And then light red, 1.25 to 1.5. Now the market starts to lean a little bit in favor of the buyers, and you can see the average marketing time that's there. And you can also see that these average marketing times are really all down when you compare last year versus this year. Looking at the $1.5 to $2 million range, you'll see that now it starts to lean towards the buyers. It's taking 200 days to sell those homes. And as you go up the price scale, it takes even longer. At over $4 million, it's going to take you 619 days on average to sell your home. So you can see that, the market in general, there are a lot more houses, obviously, in the price range of $1.5 million or less than there are at $1.5 million and more. That's why the average days on the market that I gave you at the beginning of this video is a weighted average, because there's just less homes in the higher price range than there are homes in the lower price range. And as always, I'll end this with my advice, whether you're a buyer or seller. Let's start with the buyers. Okay, well, it's the fourth quarter of the year. The good news for you is people start to get busy with their holiday schedules and there's less buyers out there looking around. It does not mean that there are less buyers that want to buy houses. It just means that the chances that they're going to act as quickly as they have the last few months is probably in your favor. So you will have less competition. So that's good. But also remember, and I can tell you from all the listings we've sold in the last 30 to 45 days, there are a lot of buyers out there, okay? So, there's gonna be less inventory to pick from, but you're better off than you were in the summer and the spring. Okay, sellers. So here's the good news for you. The good news is quality of the buyers that are out there at this time of year are usually really high. We start to see the relocation buyers come into town because they wanna make a move maybe during the holidays, 1st of January, that type of deal. The people that are out there now are serious buyers, and the inventory is still low enough where the competition is good for your home and you should still be able to get a market value price, even though, traditionally people think this is a tough time of year, it's the fourth quarter, buyers go away. Well, you have less competition because a lot of sellers don't want to have their houses on the market, so that works in your favor too. All in all, we are in Southern California. We are not in Michigan. It's not snowing in the winter here. So our market is pretty good year-round here in Orange County. We're lucky that we have a place that we live that other people want to move to and be in. I just want to close by again stressing the fact that we are not in a distressed market or a housing bubble type of market. 99.5% of the sales that happen in Orange County are equity sales. There are only 58 homes in the whole county right now that are on the market that are either a foreclosure or a short sale. You guys, I worked through the Great Recession. I've been doing this 30 years. I'm telling you, we are not even close to the levels that we were at. So for you buyers that are waiting to buy, I don't really understand why. The interest rates are great, and as long as you're buying for the long term, you're gonna be fine. If you're buying for the next 3 to 5 years, then maybe I get it. Okay, we'll see you on the next Tustin Talks in 2 weeks, where we'll zero in a little bit more on the Tustin market. And please don't forget to give us a call. We can help you whether you're a buyer or a seller, and you can call us at this number. Bye-bye. Hey guys, who are you getting your real estate advice from? Do you know there's 23,000 agents in Orange County and 87% of them are going to be out of the business within 5 years? The Odell Group's been around for nearly 40 years. We are ranked number 9 in transactions closed, and we can give you the right advice to help you make good decisions. So please click on our subscribe button here and start watching the videos and let us know if there's anything we do to help you.